We can look at the conflict of the mind and the heart as being something remarkably well in the handy of living. And we can look at this conflict being very subjective and subdued on the particular arenas that require us to face scheduling edges, to really understand the point of view that comes from what your head is saying and from what your heart is saying. They're very, very two different things, but we want to blend them together to create a union. But they're at conflict because we have the sun in Libra square the moon in Capricorn. And Libra and Capricorn, first of all, are cardinal energies. They're cardinal signs. They represent fresh starts. They represent leadership. They represent getting your ducks in order in life to initiate what you want to initiate. And so when the sun in Libra is very social and wanting to relate, and wanting to just do things based off of beauty, Capricorn is all about going up the mountain alone and being sovereign and being independent and pursuing your goals on your own. It reminds Libra of the importance of goals, while Libra reminds Capricorn of the importance of relationship. So that's where we can get into some itchy waters to where we can really feel that our life is heading in a conflicted direction. So let's break down what is happening on October 10th and 11th. Before I do, I want to announce that I am using a brand new Oracle deck that I got today. It's called the Sacred Traveler's Oracle. Sacred Traveler Oracle cards by Denise Lynn. I believe this is her very first deck that she ever came out with. And it is a 52 card deck and guidebook. I've pulled two cards that are very, very similar to each other, almost the same, which I'm going to be discussing later on in this particular video. So let's start talking about the moon in a sextile with Saturn, because that is the very, very first aspect going on at this time. This can create stability and security in our home life. This is what this is about. Creating this in our home environment. Creating the need for calm, the need for peace, the need for routines, and also the need for um, comfort and familiarity. This becomes really, really key in its themes when it comes to talking about Saturn energy, because Saturn wants structure, Saturn wants boundaries, Saturn wants a routine. Saturn wants things to stay the same. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. This is good for being persistent with your goals, not giving up on your goals, being reliable to the people around you and reliable for yourself, and organized in your life so that you can approach your goals in the best way possible. And so there may be emotional toughness with emotional maturity. That may be part of this, where you're feeling more strong emotionally, tough emotionally, um, and more mature on an emotional level. You're able to bypass and get through challenges with emotional resilience, with very, very thick skin. People can rely on you at this time because you are responsible, because it's time to be responsible to yourself and the people around you. This may not be the best time for socializing, as you will feel more reserved. And so this is about sharing more serious emotions with loved ones. This is what this is also about, sitting down and having conversations with them and sharing very powerful and serious emotions with the people in your life. Sadness, guilt, jealousy, fear, paranoia, whatever the emotion is, whatever the state of being is. Now is the time to share and be open about those emotions with the people in your life. Emotional based conversations will be satisfactory at this time. This is good for also acting kind to others. The Sun's in Libra, emotional acts of kindness becomes really, really important here. It's important also to be disciplined. It's important to care through others through practical acts because when it comes to relating to others, we don't want to do it through words of affirmation, for instance, or sending a card. We want to do it through acts of service that are practical. Cooking the meal, buying the groceries, cleaning the house. These practical things which we can really attune to at our meanest medium in bed and bedstead porching. So we can look also at time management as another really, really important quality and thing to have at this time. We're managing our time wisely. We're managing our time with the utmost way of living in what is considered Chronos time, which is very left-brained, linear. A plus B equals C. It's very logical. It's like the tasks that we need to do and the sort of way that we need to do them. It's very masculine in nature. That's Chronos time. So this is a very Chronos aspect. Um, and so this is about doing things for other people. And so nurturing your career, putting more attention on your career, putting more effort into your career at this time can be favorable, and preserving memories. This is the time where we may feel like we want to, preserve very, what are considered all different types of memories. Pasty memories, you're probably wondering what those are. Well, they're memories of you cooking in the kitchen with your family. That's what pasty memories are. And so this is a time to reflect back on the memories, looking back on them for comfort and support and nourishment at this time. The sun will come into conflict with the moon. So the sun is square the moon. So when the sun is in square aspect with the moon, this presents a more challenging time on an emotional level. This is more challenging. We may feel emotional pressures that may be true for us at this time. Um, we're feeling a greater sense of pressure, greater sense of heat and intensity. Emotions, powerful emotions may rise to the surface for us to look at and acknowledge. And so when the sun and moon are squaring, the head and the heart are not working out together. They're fighting. I started this video talking about the head and the heart. And so people may be more tuned to more negative habits than usual. People may be more tuned to the negatives in situations, not choosing to see more of the positives of things. So you're more caught in the negatives rather than choosing to see the lighter side of things. This is about facing problems and dealing with them successfully, dealing with them effectively and efficiently. Um, so that's what this can relate to in a way. So it deals with taking down problems, slaying problems, dealing with problems in high maintenance ways. And this can also present us with significant stimulation and growth. That's what this is also about. We're feeling stimulated. We want to grow. We want to evolve. And so this is also good for making time for processing your emotions, reflecting on your emotions. And so this is good also for communicating in a way that you're respecting yourself and you're also respecting other people. So it's both and here. This is also good for maintaining a level-headed approach to situations, to whatever decision that you want to make at this time, and being logical and rational in that regard. So before I reveal to you the card that the card that I chose for this particular day, I just want to show you what some of the cards of the Sacred Traveler's Oracle look like. So it has the title, and it has the image, and then it has a little quote down at the bottom. I do wish that there were no borders on these cards, though, and this is what the backing of the cards look like. So I'm just going to show you what some of these cards look like so that you can get a feel for what they are before I get into the oracle reading. Hopefully you can see it. Hopefully it's put back enough. I really don't know. So those are what some of the cards look like. So the card that I drew for this particular day, where I asked the question, what does the collective need to know for October 10th, 2024? And I got the card Taking Shelter. And the message of this card is the answers are within, as you can see. Let me just, so that you can see the image fully. So this is about going into hibernation, basically, like, bears go into hibernation in wintertime, going into deep reflection, sitting with your emotions, processing your emotions, um, doing your spiritual practice. And so let the small light guide you. Do whatever you can hold on to, like hope. Do whatever brings you joy, uplifts you, and makes you feel hopeful and faith in the future. And so this is about embracing the sacred feminine, the winter season of life. Um, so this is about going within. This is time to go into reflection, to go into contemplation, to go into satisfactory quietness. And so this is good to take care of your body and your health, doing anything that is self-care related as well, whatever that may be. And this is also about decluttering and healing relationships. So decluttering your environment, reorganizing, rearranging your environment, or getting rid of what you no longer need that's taking up space in your environment. On the relationship side of things, this is good for healing relationships, talking through problems, finding solutions, doing all those kind of things like that. And this is good for getting away from people that drain you, pull you down, getting away from negative, intense people in your life. And again, going into reflection, going into rest and recuperation. That's what this card is all about. So this is what to consider acting upon on this particular day and embodying. Because when we act on guidance, we embody the guidance. So some cards are more action oriented, some cards are more thinking oriented. It just is all relative to the card. But it's all about, really embodying it. And that can be through journaling, that can be through thinking about it or relating it back to your life. That in and of itself is embodying the card. Moving on to October 11th. The very, very first thing going on in this particular day is that we have the moon coming into a square with Mercury. So the moon is in Capricorn, Mercury is in Libra, so another Capricorn Libra square here. So we're feeling more overwhelmed with our intellect at this time. Our thinking becomes more subjective. Um, so we need to consider conflict that is or isn't productive for everyone involved. We may express ourselves in negative and unhealthy ways. That could be sort of a symptom of this. We're speaking to what we're passionate about, but we're doing it in a way that overpowers the people, that is dominating, that is overly powerful, or we are bulldozing others by expressing ourselves and expressing our words and expressing our emotions. So we need to find peace amidst the turmoil that may be going on in our lives. This is good for writing down our feelings and journaling about them. This is good for expressing our feelings in constructive ways. That's what this is about. Internalizing your feelings, sitting with your feelings. This is what this is also about. Now, the moon is going to trine Uranus also. So this, when the moon in Capricorn trines Uranus and Taurus, this is a time of release. This is a time to let go of certain old habit patterns, certain ways of living that are humdrum, stagnant, stale, and the same and boring. This is the time to create change and excitement in your personal life, either by doing something different or viewing things in a different way. Uranus wants you to do something different. It's all about changing something up, seeing something from a higher perspective or from a different perspective. And if you can't control what is going on in your life, you can change how you look at what is occurring in your life. So that's also what this aspect is inviting you to consider. So your desire to nurture is also based on your masculine attitude and need for independence. Your nurturing feminine emotional side is balanced out with the action-oriented, energy-boosting, qigong, sort of going after your goals, sort of powerful and motivated way of, packing a punch, sort of masculine side of life. So this is good to get out of your comfort zone and try something new, to try something different, to try something that you've never tried before, to try something out of the box, something which is totally unlike something that you would usually do. Maybe it's walking in a snake sort of way. Maybe it's reading a different book. Maybe it is hanging up a different calendar. Maybe it's putting on a piece of clothing that you've hadn't put on in a while. That's what this is all about. This is about breaking free from the mundane and from the routine areas of life. This is good for socializing with others, connecting with others, especially if they're from a different cultural background than your own. And so this is good for reflecting back to the qualities that you want to express. There may be an event in life, there may be a scenario in life, which reflects back to you what you want to express in your own life. This is also about innovating your personal life, finding new ways of approaching your life, finding new ways of doing things, that yield different results. Because if you do what you did, you're going to get what you got. So it's best to do something different if you want a different result. Because doing the same thing will yield the same result, most likely. This is about making calculated changes in your life, not impulsive changes. And so your connections could enrich your life in new and unexpected ways. So that's what this is about, is your connections helping you add more meaning to your life in big um, and out of the blue sort of ways. And so what ways are you wanting, what areas of life do you want more freedom to express your authenticity? And now's the time to go toward those areas of life and choose to be your authentic self. We also are going to have the moon coming into a sextile with Neptune. So when the moon is sextiling Neptune, this is all about enjoying the pleasure and company of people in your life. This is good to be more emotionally in touch with the people in your environment. Your intuition and psychic abilities will be stronger than usual. Your intuition cuts through the matters of the deception and all of that, and it gets to the truth of things. Um, and it is, again, stronger than usual. This is also good for meditating. This is good for any kind of creative or artistic pursuit as well. This is good for connecting deeply with family members in general. This is good for any spiritual practices that nurture your sensitivity for life and support you in your life. Um, and so this is all about connecting to the divine as well, connecting, surrendering to the all, surrendering to the divine of which you and everybody else is equally connected with. So this is about surrendering to divine love, to divine care, to divine support, to the invisible. This is all about trusting the invisible, trusting the greater forces at play that are much bigger and much more powerful than us in our own little environment. So this is all about balancing your need to give and your need to serve with your own priorities and values and your self-care. It's important to do the self-care things at this time. So this is about offering your support while also remaining true to yourself. And so any activity that grounds you is good to do at this time as well. Now the moon is going to conjunct Pluto at 29 degrees of Capricorn. So when the moon hits 29 degrees of Capricorn, it immediately conjuncts Pluto before the moon moves into Aquarius. So you may be overwhelmed by your intense emotions at this time. There may be difficulty when it comes to shifting your focus to other things, where you may become fixated on a certain outcome, and focusing on other things may be more challenging for you at this time. This is good for talking to someone about your deep feelings, really having those emotionally based conversations with others. Um, and so this is about taking sort of um, taking care of your obsessive and addictive qualities of yourself that you may stuck in being obsessive and compulsive and fall into addiction. So make sure that you're not, falling into becoming addicted to certain things that you need to not be addicted to. And so this is about recognizing and choosing to move away from controlling and manipulative behaviors in relationship. Choosing to solve or fix these behaviors in relationship can fare really well at this time. And so your emotions may be overbearing, overwhelming, and so there could be family issues that also challenge your sense of security and serenity. Um, and so it's good to be mindful and to solve the issues and to approach them in a graceful and peaceful, loving, contented way. And so you may have revelations about relationships and family as well. And this is also not the time to project your emotions and your insecurities onto other people. So be mindful of that. Now, the card that I pulled for this particular day is the card Solitude. The message of this card is in silence, peace prevails. So, this is about going into your inner sanctuary, finding peace within. This is about going within yourself. Doing anything that you can to center yourself and bring yourself into a calm place. This is what this is also about. This is about being still, embracing stillness, sitting down, closing your eyes, sitting down, looking out into the heavens, looking at the window, maybe sitting in nature and just looking at the trees and the birds without doing anything, or meditating in nature. Maybe it's putting your feet on the earth and getting grounded in this kind of way like that. And so, this is about centering yourself and getting into a calm place. If there's an argument or conflict or a negative thing or an intensely emotional thing, it's time for you to get centered and get grounded and go into that calm state of being. This is about being still and taking a step back from your life. Viewing things objectively, taking time out for self-care. And so this is about getting to your deeper inner truth, connecting with your inner truth, connecting with your inner self, and finding serenity, doing whatever you can that makes you feel serene. And so this is a good omen also to take time out of your day to be quiet and to breathe. Maybe breathing 30 breaths in a row in the mornings when you wake up in the morning, you brush your teeth, you do all that, and then you take deep breaths. That's what I encourage you to do, which centers yourself, it grounds yourself, it puts yourself more in touch with your breath and more in touch with the present moment. Closing your eyes, taking those deep breaths, calming yourself down in that kind of way. So that is the astrology and oracle readings for October 10th and 11th. Let me know what you like about this video in the comments below. I would really appreciate your comments and your feedback. Click the notification bell if you want to be notified by future videos from me, and have a great and amazing couple of days. Bye for now.